Summer is typically the time where everything gets dropped. Guys will stop training, nutrition goes out the window, everything that they were doing in May and June just all of a sudden seems to disappear. And every time I ask someone why this happens, it's always met with, there's just so much going on. Listen, and I get it, the schools are off, the weather's nicer, you're going on holiday, life's pretty full on over the summer, but it always is. There's a Christmas period, work's busy, life's happening, there's multiple birthdays. There is always something going on. Today I'm going to go through the exact mindset shift I do with my guys to help fix this. I call it the life dial. And I'm going to tell you how it took a client from constantly regaining weight in September to never having to start over again. But before that, I'm Sam Fowkes, and over the last 8 years I've helped hundreds of men manage summer, beer gardens, holidays and lose 20 to 30 pounds. So that's why I know what I'm going to talk about in this video will help you. Right now you probably see fitness and training and everything like that as either on or off. You're all in or you're all out. You've probably described yourself as all or nothing. You're either always on or never on. And this is because, like many guys, you see fitness, training, nutrition, and whatever, life as an on-off switch. Once work gets busy or life throws a lot of stuff at you or summer rolls around, life gets switched on and there's always something going on, always something trying to knock you off your path. So training and everything, nutrition gets switched off. And this is why you feel that you can't be consistent over those summer periods, because you can't seem to find the balance of keeping both switches on. So here's what I do differently with my guys to stop them seeing things as an on-off switch and to essentially not fall into this trap. I get my guys to think of things as a dial. Okay, so let me explain, right? Obviously you have your on-off switch, which is what you are currently operating on. Either life is on or life is off and training is on, vice versa. But what I get my guys to do is almost think that you have two dials. Right? So you have the life dial and you have your fitness and training dial. So essentially when your life dial is low, training and nutrition and everything is usually turned all the way up. This is where you feel more, most committed, most motivated. You're probably getting to the gym more. You're probably making better choices. You're not having to say no to as many things. And everything feels a little bit easier almost, right? But then this lifestyle starts to turn up. And instead of just switching the fitness and the training off, we dialed that back to a more manageable amount. So let's say, for instance, you are training 4 times a week at this point. You might be doing one run or something along those lines. You're planning your nutrition, you're taking meals into work with you, all of this stuff. But that's when the life dial is on the low end. So as it starts to ramp up and starts to get a little bit heavier and life starts to take over a little bit, this dial starts to turn down. So maybe you go to 3 sessions a week or 2 sessions a week. So instead of trying to hit that 4, you're just now doing 3 or 2 instead of just going to 0. With your nutrition, it's okay, right? Well, maybe I'll manage the Monday to Friday a lot more and I have that flexibility on the weekend because I have more social events. Maybe it's you have a couple of client dinners, so breakfast and lunch is 100% tracked, giving you a little bit more of a kind of buffer for that evening meal with a client dinner or whatever it may be. But see how we are not just on or off, we are moving the dial to suit what we need it to for how busy our life feels. Always see things as a moving scale, and that's why I use the analogy of the dials, right? Because we can move them up and down like a dimmer switch. If you want to keep with the light analogy, we can use the on-off switches, which is what you're currently doing, or we use a dimmer switch, which is what I want you to try and think about moving forward. And this is the exact thing I went through with my client Danny. Is after every summer he would come back September, gained a lot of weight, not trained over the summer, nutrition would have been really lax. So he felt like he was restarting every single time. And one of the first things I went through with him was this exact principle. Instead of just dropping everything, instead of just throwing everything to the side and being all or nothing, we controlled the dials. We learned to find ways around stuff instead of just being black or white. So then by the time next summer had come around, we'd been through periods like this before with Christmas and work getting busy. So he had built up this understanding of the life dial principle. So instead of coming back in September a couple of kilos heavier, he'd actually lost weight. He'd actually dropped 2 kilos, been away, still kept up with his training, still kept up with some nutritional habits. And again, without feeling restricted or without feeling like he was missing out on stuff, we just toned down everything and still kept some fundamentals. So he was able to enjoy himself, he was able to relax, he was able to have some time off the gym, but without sacrificing his results. So that is why I think this mindset shift and this principle can be such an important tool, an important way of thinking about things, and just open your eyes and almost realize that things can dial back, and as long as you are doing something, that is always better than doing nothing. So as summer is getting busy now, and as the Christmas period is around the corner, think about this principle. Think about, what is the minimum I can do? What can I adjust to be able to keep my fitness in check, to keep my nutrition in check, and build those fundamentals and those foundational skills that you will use alongside work and life and everything being thrown at you. But I hope you found that helpful. And if you fancy more simple advice just like this, then you can join my email list in the description. I go through this and way more.